Alright guys, back to another episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations. Last episode was, we were in the stadium, we were trying to get a testimony out of Wendy Oldbag and also meet Lana Sky as well. Or Emma Sky, whatever. And yeah, this episode we were trying to get some more information and clues into the investigation. Fortunately, something bad has happened, and we need to talk to Ernest Amano. Looks like we got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers, right? Yes, and also the identity of the... Oh, what the fuck? Why is that so fast? The identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy!
Oh, tell me if it's true. Tell me if you really found my boy.
Yes, Mr. Amano. We found him earlier in the scene. Why the fuck is there a phone going on? And my little Pop and my little Lance is unheard? He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang. Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a... Okay, guess we'll talk to them.
Miles, my boy, I can't take you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock of what happened to Oliver, huh? But I have to say, I am relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him.
A letter. Letter?
The way Lance is being chased after by woman reminds me of someone I know. I almost believe I can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know.
Is that gonna be the motive for the kidnapping itself? A love letter?
Here, take a look for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple oh, what the fuck? My dear Lance Amano, may I come see you again? Your beloved Viola. Tender lender loan oh my god, not tender lender. Hey, oh, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, tender lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Letter from Lance Amano, sender is tender, lender loan company. It's the thing from the third Phoenix Wright game. The fucking loan shark company. Okay, let's talk to you. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try. Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the letters you've gone through. I suppose if they were me, then... I believe you said that you were Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct? Yes, I am, but oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're friends. We're not just friends either. That looks like a friendship ring. Ring pop ring. I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Oh, it's so wonderful. I feel like this needs to be covered. You mean to tell me he gave you a lollipop ring? So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided? Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? My father used to work for Mr. Amano. And so, Lance and I grew up together. Ha! I said it out loud. I don't see how there's anything to be embarrassed about, by the way, So your father was an employee of the Amano group. What did he do? I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus. Pegasus? Pegasus? Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had to be there for a second. Now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off in somewhere and never returned. Riding Pegasus to a whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of. It's been so long. I don't think I recognize if we ever were to meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live. Alright, about the case. Alright, about this incident. Incident? But isn't this the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident. How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped? Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition. You based everything on that? Sus. I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny, huh? You started fantasizing again, by the way. So, what are you gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth? We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It is my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. I'm gonna choose the kidnapper's hideout. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout. But we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. If we're gonna get more info, we're gonna have to go into the crime scene. What is it, Kay? You look like you stumbled upon something. I'm just kinda confused by all the different events going on. First there's the kidnapping, and then there's the co-conspirators of that end up in a murder. And Miss Oldbag saw the crucial moment, but you and Miss Oldbag are kinda... We do not need to investigate further into that last statement you just said. Disregarding the fact that where it came from, the witness's testimony was a mess. However, it did shed some light on the truth behind this case. Well, let's just keep investigating and see what other types of people we run into, shall we? The next place we do investigate is the kidnapper's hideout, of course. Yes, and their hideout is that room next to the one that we're stuck in. Okay, I would appreciate it if you didn't steal the words from my mouth. But I can't help it, you know. I'm just a great thief after all. So the best that the great thief can do is petty theft of other people's words. Wonder if you know something about this. There's a letter. Love letter. Lance and I met on the street corner by the crosswalk. I was so busy eating and looking for that I ran into him. It was destiny, as people like to say. I'll take that she's not interested in this. I'm still kind of sus on her. Maybe she's like a stalker or something like that. I don't know. What do you have to report?
Oh, sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir.
Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us look around inside?
Sir, Roger, sir.
Oh, that was easy. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain didn't Agent Lang order you not to let me in?
Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir.
What is this? This man in the picture, isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon? Old man. Colin Devore. Male, Wright, 5'8", 123 pounds. After escape from the Penn E. Dent prison. Prison? Stole a gun from a guard during his escape, where we thought, like... But the name here says Colin Devore. That's the same name as the one in the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Devore was his real name, but what's this? He was convicted in the case 10 years ago and sent to prison. Nani? Then what was he doing here? Escaping. Apparently he broke out of jail, and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up for the fact that he was escape felon. Oh. Now, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and the current case? These police documents are rather detailed, very well. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. Let me check the... We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Wife and sole daughter. Okay. It's fine. Let's just focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnappers' hideout. Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first and think later. More than thinking things through, I think you should just try to remember things first. Now then, if you can please lock the door, officer. It was locked up before a while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying, but care to explain a little bit more detail? Sir, the door was just locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help break the door down, sir. With the power of 10 men. I see. I guess that means I got Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. I'm hoping they don't fucking mess with the crime scene or whatever. Kidnappers hideout. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed. Well, you were tied up for a while in the next door room. Hey, Kay, please, may you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might be still some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Let's do this. Ooh, they have barrels just like outside. Yes, and? Well, I know already you asked me when you were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them? There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room, too. It's not a trapdoor, it's an entrance to the underground passage, Kay. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped this prison through here. What have we here? Looks like a sword. A broken sword. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? There's gonna be a reason. Swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to let us get anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. True. Let's keep exploring the thing. This must be where they dispose the old and worn out costumes. That is so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I still feel bad for using these because it'd be like totally stealing the perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. But why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? A sign advertising the photo route is something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do. I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the Badger family, you see. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. She sounds so happy. She is literally the new Maya for this game. Okay. There's coffee. Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used. 3 cups. There's a key. I wonder what this key is to. You got me. It reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors. That wasn't a trapdoor. You only call it one because you literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I am not having this conversation again with you. Also, Gatewater Land is stuck in this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige, Gatewater Land has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs around the table. They mentioned there's 3 of them in the costume. Wonder if there's anything else. What else do we have here? Beyond this door is where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me, but it's the room where I got to see your awesome face. You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment earlier. This is where we have to connect the pieces together. Alright. I'm gonna save before we get it done right away. Okay. Costume pieces, folding chairs. 3 cups and the folding chairs. There we go. The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of the missing costumes is also 3. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up, literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? Am I gonna come... Nope. Dang it. Thought it would fit together. Maybe I'm missing something. Alright, let me talk to you. So this is the room next to the one we were held in prisoners in. You know, I took a peek in there through the door from the other room? As did I, Kay. Anyway, if this room was truly the kidnappers' hideout, then that means there should be some clues to their identities here, right? I don't know if there are, however, the probability is quite high. I believe a thorough combing of this room is necessary. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up. Suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in through with brute force. Hey, that's odd, but the lock is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. How is that even possible after what the officer told us? Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? That's interesting. Panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped on and wide open. Be careful where you step, Kay. I only fell into that other opening once, you know. This is where we have to, like, use G-logic here. Okay. Can we connect these? 2. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. But one look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open. A door that was locked tight despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this. Oh, you mean... Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed? So that's how the sword broke. It was used to jam the handle to the hideout's door. I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we only uncovered more questions that needed to be answered. Oh, what the fuck? Ah! What the fuck is that? Well, Mr. Edge, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We badgers like to make use of it during our duties. Look, why don't you get out of here first, then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss. Proto Badger, get! Alright, one more to go. What the hell are you getting all excited about? Huh, did you forget the photo rally? Duh. See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger and I'm done. Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. Is he gonna just leave? What? What? It's gone. Where did it go? What has happened? What's wrong? A Bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? Is he saying that no more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, tell me a little more about these costumes you use. Oh boy. What do you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of them on each costume on hand at all times. Okay, but so because one of them is walking around in the park. The others should be in that room. Actually, the both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes, but in fact, we only use them during a certain event at the set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park, and the other Badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm very speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. And doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to show time, and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir? All this basically means that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh? Recall the costumes for a minute. The stolen ones, you mean? What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist? There's snow.
Take that!
If you had 4 people you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a Pink Badger costume instead? Yeah, that would make sense. And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, and the question is why? Oh boy. I'm gonna save again. I have a feeling we're gonna have to connect shit together. I gotta be cautious about my HP because you don't know how much HP you could potentially lose if you don't know what you're doing. There we go. The 2nd Bad Badger costume, I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say it's wearing some very telltale pants? Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume. Why is there a hole? Well, minus the head. Look, its hand is hurt. It looks like more than something was ripped out of it. Wonder why this Bad Badger costume's right hand is torn up like that. Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew that the Blue Badger is one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. The ones over by the table probably came from this stack. The question is, what can I deduce from this? Do I have to, like, put this on? Maybe it's this?
Eureka!
There we go. This is a clear contradiction of the facts. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you going to fill me in or not? Wait, maybe it's not quite so clear. Even so, it's still a contradiction, right? Or maybe it might not be. You're acting really weird, Mr. Edgeworth. Just tell me if it's a contradiction or not. Gah! My apologies. Oops, I kind of lied it for about it again. Oh god. But it has to be this I have to deduce it from here. Wait a second. He has supposed to have a gun, no? Maybe? Oh, I get it now. Maybe it's supposed to actually have a gun. Okay. That's this one. I believe we may have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand, but that it should be. Oh, the gun. Precisely. The Bad Badger was always designed to hold a gun in his right hand. However, you there! Did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is of course not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun. My dear costume friend. Firing blanks, huh? Okay. I think we're just about done with this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left to have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay.
Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You gotta hurry, sir, come on!
What is it, detective?
They found a blue badger costume down in the front of the main gate, sir.
What, Nunny?
Isn't this one the kidnappers was wearing?
Bingo, what? That's why we gotta come to the main gate with me now. If we hurry, we might still be able to get there before the wolf boy does, sir.
Alright, let's make haste to the main gate.
I know it says to be continued, but we're gonna continue where we left off, not gonna lie. Alright, just continue. Because it's short, but I want to keep going. Alright, 8 Waterland Maiden Gates.
Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe?
Just on the other side of the fountain, sir.
Huh.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there, sir. We move it out here to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it. Alright. This headpiece, this must be the Blue Badger officer Meekins crossed paths with.
Oh, the nerve of someone throwing the Blue Badger away like this. I worked so hard to create this character, it's like my baby. How could someone do this, sir? How? Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprits?
No. Oh, hold up. Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprit? I am literally being blind right now for these dialogue options anyway.
Good idea. Well, I'll wait till I get my hands on. Oh, wait. So who are they, Mr. Edgeworth?
Why don't you try figuring it out for yourself, like for a change? What do we have here? Wait a second.
It's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon? Is it possible that these two...
Hold it right there. Lang is here.
Hands up, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you?
Ugh. A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
How could you tell?
Look here and read off what you see. Lauren? Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this.
Lauren D.
D's nuts! I'm just kidding.
So we have you now, Miss Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand. Lolly, I can't believe you're the one who are one of my kidnappers. Lance.
Really?
You're kidding. Miss Paups was one of the kidnappers? Yes.
She just straight up admit it?
It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Paups is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case closed or over. Hey guys, case closed! Get the car ready, I mean the special one for this young lady.
Hold it!
Hold it right there. Again, Mr. Prosecutor. What is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Paups is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of the thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look how careless they are.
How are you calling a sham?
The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it cannot be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins hasn't been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Shit.
Mr. Paups, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him.
Is she just saying this, or she really did kill him?
I can't believe it.
Thanks for the confession.
Objection!
I object. Agent Lang, it's too much early to declare this case closed. Look at you, you're so sure of yourself. We got the culprit's own confession and some kind of incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Paups.
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and a killer. Isn't that enough?
Oh my god, she's cutting her hair! No! It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. And please, remove that dangerous weapon by your side. I'm terrified.
Huh.
Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? What is this guy up to? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away at the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today.
Testimony time. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage, but Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There, are you satisfied she just confessed to her crimes a second time? At least you have the guts to admit to what you've done. At least I can respect that much. Miss Paups, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that's really the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him a few times at Lance's house.
A few times, that's it?
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talk, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan?
Not so fast!
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning, which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Shinna?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was just killed by one of he intended to betray himself.
Ha! And I bet he didn't see that one coming. Dang.
Hold it!
You knew. How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Okay, Kay, what's wrong with her now?
come on, isn't it pretty obvious you're making your scary face again? Oh, that's why. Oh, love. Why don't you go try asking her in a more nicer, more gentle way? No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. No, get rid of the scissors right now. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
I'd sincerely doubt my glare is that bewitching. Well, mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Mrs. Paups, let's continue with your testimony.
Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Mono pays money to get his son after all, yes.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Mono would think the same. I bet Lance is gonna be the old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Amano.
I always figured that it was too, and I was envious of Lance for it too. Oh, because your dad's. I got this pendant from my father. I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me into his arms right on the back of Pegasus.
That pendant. She truly must believed it to be the wings of Pegasus.
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little bit about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance. Oh, how did you do that? Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know. Bah, and here I thought you knew how to steal people away and steal their hearts.
I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge.
Sorry, but I don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him. All we have to do after is wait for the ransom to be paid, but...
Hold it!
What do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Paups.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Paups from the very beginning? Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I raise a questionable objection. Probably. Let me see first. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's what this claim is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have been capable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not like uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Hold it!
Miss Paups, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do know I could show you with this piece of evidence. Proves that Mr. Deacon would have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Paups.
Oh yeah, we got this.
Name Colin DeVore is engraved here.
I really admire people who carve their own names into a pendant.
Oh, and why would that be?
You have no imagination, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you ever think that maybe people just want to have their loved ones always nearby?
It's not as if I have a wedding band, but I have no interest in accessorizing.
I suppose. Anyway, you know what? More than wearing flashy accessories, I'd rather be engraving my name into every treasure I could find all around the world.
A sign of affection is one thing, but blatant vandalizing is just a bit different. It's the victim's pendant, which is shaped like a horse.
It's got a real dignified look on its face that makes it worth all the more.
Oh no, Mr. Edgeworth. Nani? Did you find an important piece of evidence?
This is made of platinum silver. This makes this thing super valuable. I've seen this type of jewelry at a lot of stores, but I know when I see it.
Okay, if you ever laid so much as a finger on those pieces of jewelry.
Nani? Me? I never do something like that.
Is it possible that she has never wanted to steal from a jewelry store before? What is this? The wings. Pendant in the shape of a pair of wings, with rather nice aesthetic to it.
Hey, nice to see that even you can appreciate its beauty. Things are made of platinum silver tend to leave a nice feeling about them, you know?
I was only talking about the shape, Kay.
Oh, is that what you were talking about? But you know, if we are talking about wing shapes, I think the brooch on my scarf is way cooler.
But that's not made of platinum silver, is it?
It's handmade, okay? I'm sorry that it's not made of the expensive stuff.
She made that by herself? It's incredibly well crafted. Lauren D is engraved onto this pendant.
I see that they wrote out their first name, but why is it just the D?
Maybe it's the result of poor planning?
I guess, but at least if I have to shorten my name, I could make it K Faraday. That way, even if you sounded it out, I'd still say my name, K Faraday.
I suppose if I had to do the same, I would abbreviate to M. Edgeworth.
Hold on, I think you should abbreviate as M-E, get it? Haha.
Who would have thought of this little pendant could be stir of such a strange conversation?
This proves Mr. Deacon wouldn't be able to bring himself to kill Miss Paups. I think that's the dossier, no?
Take that!
Miss Paups, you don't know, do you? But this piece of evidence will tell you exactly who you really are.
Looking at it, I still don't feel anything with me at all. But now I really feel like I don't know anything.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are you sure you're the one who doesn't know anything isn't you? I guess this wasn't it.
Fuck me.
Alright, I should calm down and listen to Miss Paups' testimony once more and take another good look at what is in my organizer. I see your kidnappers also weep when they get stabbed in the back. Even as you betray one you claim to love the most.
No, you don't understand.
What is there to understand? What's wrong, Kay?
I can't believe she was betrayed. I kind of feel sorry for her.
I feel a little sorry for her too. However, I also wish she would also tell us the whole truth. But there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. But I'll give it another careful listen and see.
I think I'm gonna have to. I think I got the wrong evidence.
Hold it!
I think it's Miss Paups' pendant, no?
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This pair of wings all along with this piece of it shows you who you really are.
Take that!
The Deacon.
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right, they're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Eh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
But no, that can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything, by the way. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. I think the dossier.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devore, the name that is etched on this horseman.
I knew this was had something to do related, so this makes certain sense.
What? What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Miss Devore's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this.
So this section reveals the true meaning behind those pendants. Daughter?
Take that!
Miss Devore had one daughter, and her name was Lauren Paups. Oh.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you who he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch you. Over you, actually. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man will allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot?
Not so fast!
Huh? And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up on your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? And you're thinking is too much innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it then. I grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew the fact? It was no coincidence that the united pair became involved in the house at Mamano. And the two of them make good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. But wouldn't you say that my scenario is perfectly probable as well? Oh boy. So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that one didn't know of their true relationship, right?
You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter?
That's right, as one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I better take a long, hard look at the evidence.
Hold it!
Precisely, and what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter?
Not so fast!
I've seen fathers do that many times, and I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing.
Hold it!
Do they know? Nah. You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think that's the only victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. Because he was on the lam? You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore,
Hold it!
one as a butler and one as a friend of the son, you mean? They probably thought that that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend, no one would ever suspect that they were in fact family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles as well.
Hold it!
No? I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence. Am I? Or because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary? Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one.
You better hurry up and do something or Lauren's gonna wind up looking real bad.
I know, but first things first, isn't Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them ever really commit the crime as father and daughter?
Two of them make use of their meetings. Two? Two, you say? Is it two or is it three? I think there's 3 kidnappers at place. 2. We found... Oh. Oh no, I thought there were 3. Oh no. Fuck. I thought there was 3, no? Shit. I was gonna put evidence that there were actually 3, but I guess not, huh? Two. I think it's the letter.
Hold
Fuck
it!
me.
It's kind of bugged because I have to press for some reason. I think it's this one. I think I'm right about this one. It's the love letter.
Objection!
Fuck! Wrong one. That statement just now stands in contradiction to this piece of evidence. That thing has nothing to do with what I was saying. I'll put it away. And your logic is so badly in need of repair that you might as well just throw it out too. This is the real deal here. Your courtroom mannerisms are worthless at a crime scene. Gawk. You dare to insult the courts? I know it's this one. The two of them. Oh, this is the one, because they mentioned oh my god, I know there was evidence that they said there was 3 people, but I guess it was only for like the logic puzzle thingy. So it's this one.
Objection!
Yeah, this one's correct, right here, because this makes the most sense. This kidnapping wasn't just planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. Wait, 3? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by the 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups of 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It's all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who is the mastermind? I present you the brains behind the kidnapping. What the old bag? Motherfucker. The brains. I thought. Are you sure? Can I not oh my god, I thought I was gonna present the letter, but we don't really have a name, do we? Wait a second. Wait! Hold up a second! Could it be Lance himself? Lance himself?
Take that!
Lance Amano? Yes, this objection was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. But what? Did he just wanted to take the million for himself? That's why? Recall what he said when he appeared before us.
Did you see the faces of the kidnapper?
Did you see the faces of the kidnapper?
No, I didn't see their faces, but 2, one of them was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But
I only know I saw 2 people.
And this guy was being held hostage. It's possible he just couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes. About when you were being held, I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
It's gonna be a flaw. His testimony, huh?
I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume. Are you okay?
Sorry, but I really don't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How could you not? Why do you look at me with such icy daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor. Because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And they should be interpreted to be cruel at times. times, then so be it. Tch. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see if he offers up when I push a little.